Today I'm going to be chatting with illustrator, artist and YouTuber Kriksis. Originally from Latvia, Kriksis lives and works from a tiny cabin on a farm based in the Cornish countryside. It's from here that she creates stories and characters inspired by her environment and everyday life. I chat with her about her illustration journey, how she ended up in Cornwall and what it was like to study abroad. She has an MA in children's book illustration. She also has a YouTube channel where she shares and documents her illustrator life, but also wants to inspire other artists and just be a cozy channel where you can go to and feel welcomed. She also sells her work online and has an Etsy shop, as well as creating one-off designs for her patron community. I chat with her about her favourite art supplies, her materials and processes. I get to take a look inside her sketchbooks, and she introduces me to all the animals on the farm. Don't forget to like and subscribe here, and do let me know in the comments which parts you enjoyed the most. I'm Mel Chadwick, and this is Creative Conversations. Hi guys, welcome to another Creative Conversation. Today I am joined by the lovely Kriksis, and hello. It's lovely to be here in her space. So Kriksis, welcome.
Okay, hello everyone.
Can you just introduce yourself? Give us your full name and also what do you do?
So, my name is Christian in full name. My nickname is Kriksis, and I'm illustrator, artist, YouTuber, creative, living in the UK.
Kriksis is quite an unusual name. So
Yes.
Could you tell me, where does it originate from and what does it mean?
This is actually a good question because Kriksis is a Latvian name. It's more like a nickname. It's hard to translate it in English actually. It means something in between a crumble, like a small, like from bread, you know, crumble, and something small. And my friends actually started calling me that because I used to draw really, really like tiny, small pictures, and I took like full day just doing them, and they just called me Kriksis, and now a lot of people call me like that. So that was actually really easy to name the channel like that because it's literally my nickname. So.
It's very sweet. I think it suits your kind of style of things as well, and your illustration, very careful.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's actually, when you say it in English, it's Kriksis, but in Latvia it's Kriksis.
Okay.
So it's because we have r,
okay.
and it sounds a little bit different, but I actually like English version as well.
Kriksis.
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 Okay, I've got the name.
Okay.
So you're in the UK, but you're in Cornwall at the moment.
Yes.
So how long have you been living in Cornwall?
Well, I counted actually, and I think this is 5th month.
Wow.
So I came here this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And are you enjoying it?
Yes, I really like being close to the nature. I actually never lived in countryside.
Yeah.
Well, I guess Cambridge could count as a countryside, but it felt more like a city than like being super close to the nature.
So you were in Cambridge before?
Yes, so I went to Cambridge to study masters in children's picture book illustration, and I was there for 2.5 years.
Yeah.
And yeah, before that I was in Latvia.
So you've said you studied a master's in children's illustration.
Yes.
But when did you actually get into illustration, or thought that was the path that you wanted to go on?
I think it was in 2017, and I guess it's 5 years ago now. I was doing more like fine art before. I did like big, huge paintings of nude paintings, like with charcoals, and I did a lot of oil paintings. I did like still life, a lot of them, and also doing like observational and plein air. And I think it switched when I saw like several Latvian illustrators and the books, and I just thought like, oh, this is something really interesting. And it was also really challenging because I was learning how to draw everything properly.
Yeah.
And it was more like a challenge also, like how can I suddenly try different things and change and like, yeah, it was really hard in the beginning though. I remember I was like struggling a lot to find like what I like and what is the thing I enjoy about illustration.
Did you go to an art school then in Latvia?
Yeah, I was doing like art high school and I was specializing in textiles. And I was sewing clothes and like knitting and crocheting and doing like more design things. And while being there, I really enjoyed the process of sketches and sketching ideas. And my ideas were tending to be more illustrative. And a lot of teachers said it and like my friends as well. And I kind of started noticing it as well. And we actually don't have illustration department in Latvia, which is really strange. I think we should change that. And the closest was like printmaking.
Yeah.
And I went to study undergrads there. And while being there, I realized this is like the printmaking there was more like 50s, 60s style when it was like more like fine art printmaking, not like illustrative or something like that. But in third course we had illustration, so that's why I felt like that is the direction I wanted to be in the first place, I guess. And that's why I took Erasmus as well. I was in Falmouth University for
brilliant.
half year.
So why did you decide to come to Falmouth?
I actually, this is like really funny because I actually didn't look up the images or like location. I just wanted to go and study illustration. So I looked at the illustration departments that our school was like in relationship with.
Yeah.
So I could go to that places. And I had like 3 options, I think. And one was in UK, one was in Netherlands, I think. And I got into Falmouth and I was like, okay, I'm going. And then I checked, oh, this is actually a really beautiful place.
I think that's a really good thing, though. You actually went for the illustration.
Yes, I
and
did.
then the environment was a bonus.
Yes, that was completely true. I remember when I came there, I was like, wow, I chose such a beautiful place. But I didn't like, I thought if I will study like most like abandoned city with like the most dangerous place. But
you could have probably made the most of wherever you probably travelled, because
yes.
I always find when you actually live in a different place to your own, you're normally seeing it with fresh eyes anyway, aren't you?
Yes, that's true.
Were there any obstacles that you had to overcome in coming to study abroad?
Yes, my language.
Yeah.
It was like, I feel like a different person because like a few years ago, my English was really bad. I had really good friend in primary school, and she was really good at English, and me too. But in one point, I just started like writing what she was like writing, and I didn't pay attention.
Yeah.
And the language kind of, especially in the first years, when you don't pay a lot of attention, it kind of can disappear.
Yeah.
So I felt I was really struggling with it. And I remember we had like literature to read, like books to read in English. And I remember I read them in Latvian. And then I used like Google Translate to add like my thoughts and like, I kind of clip up like all the work.
So you were looking like you were learning, but you weren't probably really taking it in.
Yes.
So how did you kind of change that?
I think because I went to Erasmus, and when I went to Erasmus, my English also was like kind of, well, I could speak, but I couldn't use a lot of words, and I kind of was, when I didn't know what to say, I was trying to explain things, and it came, like, it was a little bit more like harder to understand me, I think. But yeah, because in my interest of illustration became more like visible, and I was in that Erasmus, and then I thought I could study abroad actually, and the only thing that stopped me was language. So I took courses. I paid money, of course, because if you don't study it before, actually study it before. Don't skip classes, and I paid like I think 1,000 in euros. I did like 2 courses. One was for half year, and I was there every week, and then I took one which was 1 month only, but it was like 5 times a week.
Yeah, so quite an intense course.
And like 3 hours each day, and then you had like homework, so it was like almost
all day probably.
Yeah, I remember that was I think the only month I didn't create art.
Yeah,
I was just focusing on language.
But you see now your English is pretty good.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing actually, to have that, you know, that kind of want to do it, you commit to it, and you then can open doors.
Yeah, motivation, I guess.
Yeah,
it's motivation.
Definitely. You did your Erasmus course, you kind of studied in the UK. You must have liked being in the UK, because then a year or so later you kind of studied at Cambridge.
Yes. Yeah, I think it was just a year later.
Yeah. So, why did you do that, and how did you find the experience?
Okay, so why I came to Cambridge was because I was in Bologna Children's Book Fair in 2018, I think. It was after the Erasmus, but no, I think it was before Erasmus. I went there. I really liked the things I saw there. I checked out all the illustrations around the world, what's happening, and it kind of really started to interest me, and I was kind of starting to think of my ideas and what I can bring up. And the last project I did in my undergrads was picture book, and I actually have it here. I will show you later.
Ooh, exciting.
And it was like at that moment that I felt like I want to study like masters. I never thought I will study actually masters. I thought that undergrads and that's it. And when I went to Bologna, I saw the course, because they are every year showcasing the students' work. So I saw the course. First time I saw they had like summer course. And it was like big money, like it was 600. For me, it was like a lot, because in Latvia we have like different money.
I think that's quite a lot anyway.
Yeah, so it was like 2 weeks, 600. It was like, oh.
Yeah.
And then I read that you can also do masters. And I was like, oh, that sounds really good. And I kind of did like a research. I checked how much it was, like the whole course, and can I apply for student loan. I applied for student loan, so that's how I got there. And I kind of, I don't know, I applied and I got in.
Wow.
So the only thing was stopping me, I think I had like, how do you say it? I have had acceptance, but it was conditional acceptance, because I needed to do IELTS English test.
Yes.
And I also needed to submit my final results from undergrads. And at that point, I needed like 2 more months to finish the undergrads. So, but the IELTS was like really stressful.
Wow. But you did it though.
Yeah.
And, you've taken the course, and you said that the course was about 2 years.
Yeah, so the master's in children's book is, I think it was 1.5 years actually, but it stretched a little bit longer because of the pandemic.
Oh, yes. And were you working as well at the same time?
Yeah, I came to UK and I was a barista. Yeah. I worked throughout the whole semesters. Yeah. I think I stopped only last year in June. So it's been like 1 month, not 1 month. It's been 1 year since I'm like self-employed kind of.
Wow.
So I'm kind of newly self-employed. But I always been like working and studying at the same time, even like in undergrads. So
So would you recommend the course to aspiring children's book illustrators?
Definitely, if that is the focus they want to like concentrate to. Like if you really want to do specifically like book illustration, because the course is like not about like just illustration in general. It's more like deep dive into picture books.
So it's very niche.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's the only. Is it like the only picture book course in the whole world?
I don't know.
Or one of
Is
them?
it?
Definitely in the UK, because there are a lot of illustration courses, but I think that is like the only children's book illustration course.
Right.
And the course is really well known, and I feel it's because also like a lot of us are applying to competitions, and that's how we are getting to be known.
Yeah.
But also like the teachers are really well known as well. Martin Salisbury, Pam Sami, like there are a lot of illustrators who are also publishing books and who are like teaching. And I feel it's quite rare to have like teachers who are good teachers and also illustrators, but I think they're like a good compilation of them, and they are good at teaching and they do really well.
So they're practicing illustration as well as being able to teach it.
Yes.
Yeah. You can bring so much more knowledge, can't you, to a course?
Yeah, and also like I feel you can relate more because like they've been through some struggles you are going through, so they can support you better.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely if you are focusing on book illustration, I would advise this course.
You would recommend it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about where you are, your environment and your studio.
Yes.
So, tell me about where you're working and describe your current setup.
Okay, so this is like place I'm working right now, and I've been here for 2 months, and in the September I will move to different place in the farm. It will be bigger, so this is like my kind of summer retreat, I guess.
Yes, I like that.
It's by the fields. There are animals.
What kind of animals are out there?
So there are 2 sheep and 2 ponies, and sometimes chickens when they're around. They're also here. They come even like close to the porch. And birds, you can hear a lot of birds. So yeah, rabbits as well. There are a lot of rabbits.
And isn't there like a big tortoise?
Oh yeah, there's tortoise.
We like to see
Teddy. I learned that he's 28 years old. I thought it's 25, but it's 28, so it's even older.
He's 28?
Yes.
Wow.
And the name is Teddy. It's Tortoise Teddy.
So does your surroundings influence what you're drawing?
Yes. I could, yeah, definitely. I think since I came here, I started drawing more animals, and I haven't drawn animals a lot for like past 2 years. I did some animal illustrations before I came to Cambridge, and then I stopped because I wanted to focus more on character design, and I wanted to explore kind of my characters. And now when I feel more like stronger that I can create them, I feel I'm lacking a little bit of animals in my scenes. And yeah, since I've been here, I have done lino print with that view. I have done like several sheep sketches, several like chicken sketches. I have like flower girls illustrations. So yeah, a lot of like influences around, definitely. And the story I'm creating now, it's also in this area.
That's brilliant. I was going to say actually, or ask you, what projects are you working on at the moment?
Okay, so actually like 1 month ago I had like this kind of breakdown that I didn't know what to do for the next project and like in general, because like kind of in this moment I don't have like clients, so I was like I either go and work like in regular job or like think of something else, and I'm like I want to think of something else. So what I'm going to do right now is creating picture book, and this is like my self-initiated project. And I kind of started drawing a story like a few weeks ago, and I'm just documenting it on YouTube. Yeah, so it's kind of like really like out of nowhere story, but really relatable as well. And yeah, that's what I'm going to do right now. And yeah.
Yeah, sounds good. So Is there any recent project that you've kind of completed and that you're really proud of that you can talk about or share?
So the picture book, I worked with an American author. I worked on it last year for like 5 months, since June till December.
Yeah.
And that was like my first project as like self-employed artist. And I really enjoyed it. It was definitely like challenge because when I studied in master's book illustration, we always had like these projects, and we had like only like 5 illustrations as like final artwork, and everything else was like in a sketch stage. And now I just needed to complete like the whole story and I have like text from someone else, which is a little bit. It's trickier because I always work with my text.
Yeah.
So then I kind of, when I work with text, I also like, I want to have this image, so I will have text so that it fits in that specific scene. But now I have like that text, so I need to work with that together.
Yeah.
But it's kind of good experience because I need to collaborate with someone else.
Definitely, and I guess you would have learnt a lot of things as well in actually creating it.
Yes.
So can you tell us what the story's about?
Yes, so the story is about a boy who doesn't want to read and he turns into troll. So yeah, that is like the main like...
What's the title of the book?
How to teach a troll to read.
Oh, cool.
Really like, I guess, everything what I said before.
Yeah.
It's
Very simple, but to the
yes.
point.
I needed to create the main character in a way that you can see him in a troll version as well. So you have like this same curly, like gingerish hair, and the troll has it as well. And the clothing, it's like, so he has this bright, like kind of yellow-green toned t-shirt and some pants. And when he's a troll, he has like almost like
Dungarees.
Dungarees with like a bright yellow-green, like I don't know how to call this. Like
Braces?
Yeah, and then like shorts in that jean color.
Yeah.
So it's like kind of trying to show that he's there, but yeah.
He's become a troll.
But he's becoming a troll, and so it was really interesting because there were several characters. Yeah. And I needed to portray like grandmother, like the boy, a dog, and a girl. So usually in my stories I have less characters. So it was really interesting to kind of do more character designs and explore them a little bit more as well.
It sounds like it challenges you as well, you know.
Yes, definitely. Especially like elderly people. I don't draw a lot of elderly people, so I needed to draw grandma.
Yeah.
And I will show you like these character sketches. And I kind of try to sketch my grandmother in those sketches as well.
That's so interesting. So I was going to ask, do you keep sketchbooks?
Yes, I do. I have a lot of them. I have some hidden up here and also some in Cambridge.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I probably have like 30 of them.
Brilliant. But I guess that is a crucial part of your actual practice, is to have sketchbooks.
Yeah, I think I started doing working in sketchbooks when I started doing illustration. Yeah. Before that, like everything I did in fine art was like on loose papers. Yeah. And I have them as well, but
what do you find is the benefit of having sketchbooks?
Well, I feel sketchbook is like a book. So you can kind of even like do storyboards and see the pace and rhythm turning the book. Yeah. And I have some smaller like sketchbooks, which are perfect to just draw the whole story, and you can just read it like it is. Yeah. And also like seeing everything together. Yeah. I actually now don't like a lot of loose papers because I don't know what to do with them. I have some, but it's just like pile and you always like put it from one place to another. Yeah. Whereas in sketchbook it's just like one place, and it's like a story about the sketchbook as well. I like to have like purpose to each sketchbook. So one sketchbook is just like, I don't know, monochrome, drawings, just monochrome. I remember we sketched before in Greek, so I started doing it with one color, and now it's like just like one color sketchbook. Then I have one sketchbook with just flower girls. So I'm drawing a character and adding flowers to it and making it like a costume character. One more is like map crunching, just map crunching. Then one more is just picture books. So it's like and I have like 6 or 7 just open. And whenever I need to have like specific purpose, I just grab the specific sketchbook and work with it.
Yeah, that's quite nice, isn't it? Because I guess you can keep everything, like you say, organised. And, you know, if you're looking for ideas or references, you know exactly it's in that sketchbook, and you can then see the progression.
That's
and
true.
Also just get ideas from your work as well.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Like some people use sketchbooks for the different mediums, and I think it's not my case, because sometimes I just use the most thinnest paper to like mix media and then make it somehow work, and then use like watercolor paper just to draw with pencil. So.
You adapt, don't you? You're adapting what you've got.
Yes.
But let's talk about supplies, because I know that you used to work in an art shop.
Yes.
And so you probably, you know, get excited by different art supplies.
Yes.
So I want to know, what supplies do you normally grab? What your favourite art supplies?
Oh, this question.
I know, we could be now here for another hour.
Okay, let's take a drink. This question.
Yes, so what mediums do you use?
So I work in mixed medium. I think I thought in the beginning I'm working only in one specific medium, but now looking back, I think since I started doing illustrations, I'm always mixing at least 2 different mediums together. So I don't know, this is a really difficult question, because I think when I create new story, I tend to grab different art materials. And I remember when I first started doing picture books, I did alcohol-based markers, and I added pencil on top. So this is like my first 2 or 3 books. And then I discovered gouache, and I felt this is like really perfect, because then I can layer up things, and nothing is just like, you cannot see the paper underneath, which sometimes bugged me before when I worked with markers.
Yeah.
And I guess my most favorite medium is gouache, acrylic gouache, the one you cannot reactivate it.
Yeah.
And I like pencils as well, and crayons.
Yeah, what kind of pencils do you use or go to?
I don't have a favorite brand. I just look at the colors.
So it's the colour palette.
Yeah. I really like, I guess my most favorite pencils I can mention too. So I have this favorite color, which is called Ginger Root by Prismacolors. I love that color. It's like pale greenish yellow.
Yeah. So it's like a ginger.
Yeah, it's like ginger root. Yeah. I really love this color. And also Derwent Color Soft, there is Cloud Blue, and it's like grayish blue.
Yeah.
That is really lovely color as well. So, but yeah, I tend to use like several mediums.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have like a lot of different art supplies. They're just hidden, but they're throughout the shelves. You can see a little bit. I think I use the least. I feel watercolor paints I use the least, because I don't know, sometimes I get really muddy when I paint. I just like add several colors on top, and I cannot layer them as I want to layer them.
Yes.
Do I add another layer, or will I ruin the whole piece because I add the second layer?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that is least used medium for me. And now, like, I have a lot of alcohol-based markers. I haven't used them since I started master's course.
Wow.
So it's been like 3 years since I haven't used them. And I feel maybe I should, like, I don't know, try again.
You could, because, you know, you've had a lot of time pass, so you might have a different approach when you go back to them.
Since I tried the acrylic markers, I actually really like acrylic markers because they are like gouache. You can just layer one top of each other.
Yeah.
And yeah, I feel those are more useful for me now than
Yeah.
than the other markers.
Okay, so Kriksis, tell me what a typical day in your life looks like.
This is a good question. I don't know what is like typical day. I feel each day is a little bit different.
Yeah.
Now I'm trying to like schedule things so every day is like different plan. For example, like one day is like for video editing, one video is like for creating the story, one day is for Patreon. So I'm trying to like do one thing at a time, because sometimes when I have like several things, I don't do any of them because it's hard to focus doing all of those things.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess like trying to focus on just one at a time, it's good for me. But anyways, it's not always working. Sometimes I'm really chaotic. I start like drawing something and I was like, oh, I think I needed to reply to this email. And then I reply to email. Oh no, I needed to record this video before. And yeah, so I'm a little bit chaotic, I think, with what I do every day.
Yeah.
But yeah, I try to create at least every third day I try to draw. And I feel like I didn't know how much time it will take to edit and do admin things and write emails. So that takes a lot of the time as well.
Yeah, yeah. But when people hear that you're an illustrator, they might think that you just draw all day, every day. But actually, it's a balance, isn't it? There's so many other things. Like you say, there's admin stuff, there's editing, there's filming, there's marketing side.
Yes.
You mentioned it a bit about having a plan. So how do you stay motivated and consistent?
I think how I stay motivated is to write plans.
Yeah.
Like I have like this planner, I write things down. I have some notes, just like the things I need to do. And I'm the one who is setting up the deadlines, which is like something I haven't done in the past, because usually when you study, there are deadlines set by someone else. But now is the time when I'm like setting the deadlines, and I think it's working. It's just you need to be strict sometimes and be like have boundaries. But yeah, even like for the picture book I worked, I actually set up the deadlines. Because she is the author. And she just said like, how much time do you need? And I remember I spent like one day, I was just like writing down week 1, character design, week 2, develop more character design, add color, week 3, start working on storyboard. And I remember I wrote down all the weeks, what I need to do. And if I was like a little bit behind, I was like, I need to push this, push, so I can do that. Yeah, so I started. Even like if there's deadline, I also try to think of midpoints as well, especially in the longer projects, because then it's like if you have just one deadline, it will be harder to like be like to know what you need to do, rather than if you have like small tasks in between, you already like check up those things.
That's a great, that does. That's a really great way of working as well, because you're basically, even you've got a big project, sometimes that's too overwhelming. So you almost need to break it into little chunks, and then, you'll eventually work your way to the big project. But it definitely helps to break it down and have those shorter deadlines. Yeah.
I think even like YouTube is my deadline, which I'm setting up myself. So I have like deadline. I need to work through the deadline. Yeah. Sometimes I'm really bad, but I'm trying my best.
It's like if you're training for something, isn't it? If you're physically training for something, you need to put in the training time to do it. It's the same with your job as well. You're having to train yourself to actually meet those deadlines.
Yes.
It's like exercise. And
that's true. I feel like studying is also like helping you to get more organized in life. Yeah. Because like if I would start doing like freelance, like I don't know, 5 years ago, I would be more chaotic, I think.
No, but I think that is a lot of the time you could do study, or it is about helping you manage your time.
Yes. That's true.
And sometimes it's more about the process rather than what you finish with. But at the same time, it's teaching you those ways in which to manage your time.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah. Let's talk about YouTube. Yes, YouTube. What's the...
I don't know what this is. It's like a sprinkle something, you know, when you sprinkle. I think I do it quite a bit.
Yeah.
Maybe
It's just like a mechanism that you do just to start things off.
Yeah, I think I remember when I just started filming, I started like 5 minutes. It was just like, you know, like kind of breathing in, like doing these things. And I kind of, in the first videos, I did that. And I was like, you know what, I'm just going to continue it. So,
But it's funny. It's like when I see a video of yours and I see the hands, I know it's Kriksis.
yeah, but it's like, what is it, you know? But it's just like something you want to do and like kind of
Welcome people in.
welcome, welcome everyone, you know?
Yeah. So you started your YouTube channel early 2021. So it's only been really over a year. Yeah. And you've already got 71 videos, or probably more now. But you're very consistent. You do post almost every week, and you've kept to that plan, which is awesome.
Thank you.
It is an achievement. As someone who, you know, also has a YouTube channel, can be hard to kind of keep yourself accountable and to produce videos very regularly. Had you been thinking about doing a YouTube channel for a while? And what made you actually start a YouTube channel?
Okay, yes. I actually started thinking about this YouTube channel when I came to Erasmus in Falmouth University, like to study in Falmouth. And I actually filmed my first video there. And I haven't like put it in like public. It's unlisted, I think, or private.
Yes.
And I sometimes watch it and laugh a little bit. I might show it to you after. It was unboxing video. And I thought to try film videos because actually I have quite bad memory. I sometimes don't remember what I did before. So in the first place, I thought to record because I could document my life and how I work and how I change and what I create and share it to other people. And also I remember when I did masters in picture book course, I haven't found a lot of channels who focuses on picture book illustration. There was, I think, Alexandra Helm from Germany, which was one of the only persons I found, and she was talking more about that. And now it's more like crowded, but like I don't know, 4 years ago it was like quite quiet in the children's book kind of focus. So it wasn't like that crowded. So I actually thought about it already back then, but I thought, no, my English is really bad. I'm busy. I'm busy. I'm busy. So my schedule was quite tight. I was studying, I was working, and I had like barely free time. And like filming takes a lot of time and everything. So I thought if I would do it, I would do it constantly, if I like it, of course. And I felt that is not the right time. So I started the channel just after I finished masters. And it was also in pandemic, still when it was some lockdowns. And I kind of decided to try it in 2021 because in that moment I finished the course. I was working as a barista and I had furlough. So I could stay at home for like a month because it was locked down.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, this is like, maybe this is the moment because I have free time and I need to put it somewhere. And where should I put it? Maybe I could start finally doing these videos. And yeah, that's how I started. I decided to film one video and see if I like it or not. And then I tried another one. I was like, maybe I will go to top 10 and then I will see if I like it or not. And then I filmed another one and then I filmed another, and then it just like kind of became like a thing I do. Kind of.
Okay, so in your channel description, you actually say that you're super shy.
Yes.
So that is quite a bit of a obstacle in a way. So how did you overcome that?
I guess I learned several things about myself in the past year, and I feel maybe I thought I'm shy, but when I film, I don't feel shy.
Yeah. Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe I was shy because of my past, and I've been bullied when I was in primary school, and I felt like I was kind of into myself more, like getting like I wasn't like super open. But now that I'm in like different chapter of my life, I feel like maybe I'm not shy. Maybe I was just like in the shell, and now I just kind of came out,
yeah.
and feel more free because honestly, now that I think, it's not that hard to like kind of come up to someone and say hi.
Yeah.
Or like I don't know. I feel maybe I should take it out from the description because I don't feel that anymore. Yeah, I think if I would describe myself in the YouTube, I would be the voice of calmness.
So what are your favorite videos to make?
I have like several, I guess, directions. I really like talking about art supplies.
Yes.
I feel like I loved it because I studied, like when I was studying, I was working in that art supply store, and I loved to talk to customers about art supplies. It felt like I didn't get paid a lot, but I really loved the job. I was like really happy, and I had like really good discounts, and I could like talk and test things out and like recommend things I love, and it I don't know, it kind of grew from there.
Yeah.
And because of that art supply place, I also got a little bit of collection, and I feel now I feel like more freer to talk about them because this is something I did like as a job. So yeah, definitely art supply videos. I feel also I love just painting something and putting the camera to record, and I just show the process.
So like a time lapse.
Yeah, like a time lapse. Also vlogs. It's I really like vlogs, but I don't like editing process for vlogs.
Yes.
Because when you have vlog, it's a lot of information, and possibly like in several days, and possibly in several locations. And when you do the editing, it's just so exhausting to me.
I know, I can totally agree with that. Although I like doing vlogs, but the amount of footage that you have to go through, it's like enormous. And you have to then find a story as well through it.
And follow it through. And kind of make sense as well. And if you forget to talk somewhere, you need to record voiceovers afterwards. And it's like, extra and extra. And I feel they're really exciting because it's also like, I don't know, how about you? Do you watch also like vlogs from other artists?
Yeah, I do enjoy watching vlogs.
So it's really addicting, right? You just watch the day-to-day life, see what they're doing, kind of what they're exploring. But yeah, the editing.
It's a killer.
That's why I actually haven't done vlog after vlog for quite often because I'm because I'm uploading every week. If I would upload every week a vlog, I would just I couldn't it's like 1 week vlog, maybe 1 week like painting, 1 week talking about art supplies. I feel talking about art supplies is really good when you are busy about something else you cannot share. I remember when I did the book project, I was just filming videos about art supplies because that's what I could show to other people, and also it will not take as much time as vlogs, and also I could do the book. So that was like the middle way how I could solve it.
That's a really good tip also to others.
If someone is trying to do YouTube.
Yeah, because that's what I would say for someone who is thinking of starting a channel. What tips would you give them?
This is a good question. I think first tip is just try things out. Like I remember I wasn't ready for a long time, and then I just started. I feel I could have started earlier. I was just thinking, should I not just try publish one video, see how you feel about the editing. Do you want to explore more of it? How do you feel about filming? What do you want to film? And kind of maybe like try 3 videos and see if you like it, because I feel you need to like it to continue because it's a lot of work. So definitely just dip your feet into the water and try it out and see how you like it or not. And yeah, I guess like if you want to do it like full time or publish every week, get ready to be quite tired sometimes, or plan really wisely. And sometimes if you're out somewhere, you just need to plan 1 week extra. And yeah, just if you need to have somewhat backups as well sometimes.
That's a good idea, actually.
So I have some backups, but they're like just speed painting. But if I would be like sick, for example, or something would happen, maybe I could either not publish and skip 1 week, which would be like first week for 1.5 years. But maybe I could use that video and put like voiceover or add music and just talk about the process.
That's a good idea.
Because that is like, it's not hard video to edit.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So you've got the YouTube channel.
Yes.
But you also have a Patreon.
Yes, I
and
do.
Could you just talk about why you have a Patreon and how it helps you in your practice?
Yes. So I have Patreon since February, and I opened the Patreon since I moved here in Cornwall, and it is kind of extra support to me for anyone who wants to support me, and it helps me to pay some costs, living costs, because like in this moment while I'm recording this video with you, my only like income is Patreon, YouTube, and Etsy store. Wow. So it's like really tight. I'm not like making tons of money, but Patreon definitely is helping me to kind of not freak out a lot. And also I'm doing a lot of extras for Patreon as like a reward. I'm doing like exclusive videos. So when you mentioned I have 71 video, I probably have somewhere around 80 videos. It's just some of them are unlisted. So if someone is joining the Patreon, in the middle tier I have like free access to previous videos. And also I do like a physical reward. So I do like lino prints. This is one of the things I really enjoy every month, creating new design. And I have 5 different lino print designs already. So going to create new one after a few weeks as well. So
did you find that having the Patreon actually helps you as well in producing work?
Yes. Definitely. Like at least lino printing, this is like extra motivation to do lino printing, because I thought I could explore more printmaking in my practice. And I feel if I have people who are supporting me and wishing to get that lino print every month, I can like, it's like extra motivation. Okay, I need to create something for myself, but also for my Patreons.
Yeah. And then also you have an Etsy store, which you mentioned. So what kind of things do you sell in your Etsy store?
Okay. So now I have quite a few. I started Etsy store actually also last year, and I think it was 1 month before YouTube. So because I had like that free time, I put Etsy store and was like, okay, next thing is YouTube. So on Etsy, I have several things. So I started with clay pins, and then I went to earrings phase, and then I started doing lino printing, and then I did risograph, and I have now screen printing, and I do screen printings on this table here. These are hinge clubs. I started doing t-shirts now, which is super exciting with 2 colors, and printing in this super small, tiny place. It's a little bit challenging, but exciting. So I'm doing a lot of things there. It's like full of kind of variety as well. It's not only one kind of thing. There are stickers as well. And
I think you've got tote bags and...
tote bags, zip bags, t-shirts, stickers. I have like a 35 or 40 listings there, so I should like check what I have there. But everything is in like there as well. And I'm most excited about the t-shirts because I wanted to do them, but I was scared because I'm still like quite small business. And I think buying t-shirts is like big investment. And especially if you print with 2 colors, it's more also about like getting the good results, because there are a lot of misprints, and then you feel kind of bad because you don't have a lot of money and you invest in t-shirts and then you don't get the 100%.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just like a learning curve, I guess.
It is. I think you almost have to view it as that as well. You know,
Yes.
you're learning the process
Yes.
and just see it as that it's not wasted.
Yes, that's true. But I'm really enjoying the process. It's like so interesting. I was thinking about it yesterday that when you have all the resources, you don't do it. And when you don't have, you want to do it.
Yeah.
And I feel this is with me because when I was doing masters, we had printmaking room. So I could print a lot of things there. I could even like print something for my store.
Yeah.
But I didn't use it. And now I'm like living in the field. I was like, oh, maybe I should do screen print, you know? Yeah. So yeah, I even expose screens in garage and like use the water pressure washer, just like in the, I don't know, in the field and just like spray it out. So everything is done here. So it's...
Yeah. There's a lot of satisfaction maybe in doing it as well.
Yes, that's, yeah, definitely.
Doing it yourself.
Yes.
Although you have to be quite patient as well, don't you?
Yes, especially if you do something for a whole day and it doesn't work. So, for example, exposing the screens, you need to clean the screen, and sometimes you have old design, so you need to clean the old design, and then you need to wait for it to dry, then you apply the greaser, then you wash it, then you need to let it dry, and the drying phase is like 2 or 3 hours. So you need to do something else and you need to come back, but you are doing it for the full day, and then you come back, you put emulsion, then it need to dry, and then you put everything to expose, and then you expose and it fails. And it's like the full day is just gone. So it's happened to me like several times here, so it's definitely frustrating sometimes, but you need to be patient and just strive for the best, I guess.
So imagine there is someone watching this who is thinking about pursuing a career in children's book illustration. What advice would you give them?
Okay, so it also depends if you want to study something to become book illustrator, or do you want to do it all by yourself. I guess in either way, you still need to define what is it that interests you in the book illustration. Is it like the story creation? Do you want to just draw pictures? Do you like? I kind of feel you need to define what is it, why you want to do it. So that will be your spark kind of, and your creative like drive, and like why. I feel that is like really important question, and that's what I have asked myself before as well. And I feel either way, if you're studying or not studying, you need to kind of start with the story and like draw it, and you need to have something to show it to others. So even if you don't know where to start, you just need to like let it out and just draw like doodles or draw anything around or something, and just kind of analyze as you go and look at your previous sketches. I feel it's really great to just look back what you have done when you have done something already and see what you liked or what not, and kind of fix that thought and like focus on that area you feel is like better for you, suited for you, if that makes sense. I feel it is hard in the beginning. I remember myself when I was like, what should I do? But I think I started with just looking at different picture books, at different authors, at different styles, checking what I like of each style, checking the color palettes, just drawing something, and then it's like, no, this is bad. Okay, let's do this one. And kind of, I think this is the only way to go. It's just like trying to sort out like your special like collection and palette, and go with that. And maybe like pick one technique as well, because if you start with like other techniques, it's really overwhelming. So if you just start one and just focus on that one and specialize in it, and like start to develop your style in that area, I think it's also much better than just go all over the place. Because I remember when I created story, and I had like ink drawings, pencils, that I remember like even like teachers said like, what do you want to do with that? Like it's not even like one story because everything is in different, like made in different way. So you kind of need to pick one and just go with that. And if you are studying or if you're not studying, I think also it's important to like kind of apply to competitions because first of all, it's your deadline. So you can have your deadline by applying to the competitions, and also it will have requirements. So it will be like a work. So you will kind of, it's like your client and it's like, okay, I need 3 different final artworks and you work for that. And I feel that could be helpful. So
That does sound, yeah, that's good advice, I think.
yes.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then keep it up. If it doesn't work, don't let yourself down. Just keep on going because it is, especially in competitions, like being afraid of failure. This is something I experienced as well. And I feel you're just, well, if you are not the one who got the prize, someone else got it. And imagine they worked really hard and they are really happy about it. So it's just not your time, and just keep on going. And yeah, maybe other time you will be there.
What hopes and plans do you have for your illustration career? And is there a particular goal that you have in mind?
So I would love to publish a picture book, but with publisher. I feel like self-publishing is different thing because you mostly sell the books online, and it's also like a little bit harder to negotiate with like royalties. And I feel with publisher it's more like stable in that way. And I would love to have my book in bookstores someday. And I feel I would love to have a story as well. So like being as an author illustrator. My stories are not like really polished, and especially in English, if I write in English, like really chaotic. But if I had like a little story and more pictures, I think I could work with that. And yeah, that is like one of the plans. About the Cornwall, I actually really enjoy it here. So we might even stay here for like long time. So well, our big plan with my husband is like to buy some place possibly in Cornwall, but yeah, we just need to work
Yes.
work through it because like I'm not the best with money right now. I'm really like kind of struggling a little bit. So yeah, I feel like in my future I would want to not be dependent on money. So I don't want to be like famous or like full of money. I just want to live with what I have and don't worry about it. And just, I don't know, like live somewhere in like the fields or like countryside, just create art, be happy, film videos, create picture books, and yeah, just don't worry about money, I guess. That is like one of the things. Yeah, so yeah. And I want to have chickens as well. Have like a house that there will be chickens.
There will be chickens. You must like eggs.
Yes.
Eggs for breakfast.
Well, I can show you the chicken coop my husband done, and I did the curtains.
Oh yes. Yeah, I think I saw a picture of that.
Yeah, so like my husband did like a house from pallets, and I did the curtains with lino prints.
Yeah.
And I did like drawing underneath.
It's so cute.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
I don't know why I started talking about that.
A final question.
Okay.
How would you describe your work in 3 words?
Okay. So, details, nature, and atmosphere. I guess this could be like the thing.
That's
because I'm driving quite small things somewhere, so I want to have like some Easter eggs in like pictures as well.
Oh, I like that.
And I have some Easter eggs in that book as well. I will show you. And yeah, I think that it's atmosphere. It's also like I want to show like it's not like only about the coziness or something. It's also like about color palette and the time of the day. And the shadows and like the feel of the picture.
So atmospheric.
Yes. And also the last one which I mentioned was details.
Nature.
Yeah, so I think that my illustrations there are a lot of nature occurring like into pictures. Either the scene is set outside, or there are some like plants or animals or yeah.
And your colour palette as well is quite natural.
Yeah, the color palette. I don't use pinks or purples at all. I think those are like the band colors for me, like
So
pinks, purples. I don't use also like pinkish reds. So if I use red, it's like classic red.
Yeah.
And then, like if you imagine like color wheel,
Yeah.
I'm like, so this is a how to show it to camera. So if there's like a color wheel, up there is yellow,
Yeah.
and then blue, and that's red.
Yeah.
So I use from yellow to blue everything, and then I use some dots from red, some dots from orange,
Yeah.
and that's mainly like my color palette.
Nice.
So I feel it's great to not overcrowd your scene as well.
Yeah.
And it depends from picture to picture as well. So sometimes I need to have like more like warm blues, which goes toward the purple.
Yeah.
But then I take something out from the opposite side of the wheel.
Thank you so much, Kriksis,
Thank you.
for spending time chatting about your process. It's been really lovely to hear more in depth about it. And yeah, I'm sure our viewers as well have enjoyed this conversation. Do let me know in the comments which part you enjoyed, and do check out Kriksis' work. You'll find all of it in the links below, and we'll see you again very soon.
Oh, wait, one more thing. Thank you, Melanie, for interviewing me. And also, please like this video and subscribe to Melanie if you haven't, because you need to subscribe to Melanie. That's just, I need to promote you as well. Why did you say not to like the video?
I never say that.
Please like the video.
Okay, please like the video, otherwise Kriksis will get you.
Yes. Okay.
And share it with your friends. Thank you so much, guys, for watching, and we'll see you again very soon.
Okay. Bye.
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 Maybe I should do that as well. It's raining as well now.
Oh yeah, it's raining. It's actually not raining. Wait, you will not come?
I am, I'm just filming you.
Just check the grass. If it's high, then don't go there because it can be a little bit high. And check the pool as well.
Okay. I might film some of the horses.
Can you stay there?
Yeah. That's what we want from this. We want to
Get more Patreons.
Yes.
Oh god, that would be funny. Okay.
Okay.